Gianni Infantino, the son of a kiosk owner from a small Swiss railway town, now runs a $15 billion sporting empire. Let's start the journey. A man in a tailored dark suit steps off a private jet in Doha. No airline logo, no boarding pass, just him, his security detail, and a flight paid for by an organization that claims, on paper, to be a non-profit, FIFA, and the man is its president, who stands next to the President of the United States at a peace summit and personally introduces a prize named after peace and hands it to that President Trump. This isn't a story about one corrupt man breaking rules. It's a story about a system so loosely policed that a person can accumulate the informal powers of a monarch, private jets, tax-optimized residency, direct lines to presidents, without ever technically crossing a line anyone can prosecute. So how does a kid from a two-bedroom flat above a train station kiosk end up here? Who helped him get there? And who paid the price along the way? Welcome to Ledger Theory. Today, Ledger Theory explains to you how the FIFA president Infantino built himself the most powerful character in global sport. To understand that, we have to go back long before to a tiny town in the Swiss Alps, where a boy with two left feet on the pitch was already playing a much longer game. Brig is a railway town in the Swiss canton of Valais. On March 23, 1970, Giovanni Vincenzo Infantino was born there, the youngest child of two Italian immigrants. His father worked the overnight rail service. His mother ran a small station kiosk. In Switzerland, there's a word for children like him: secondo, second generation, not fully Swiss, not fully anything. He played football badly. But he wasn't the star on the pitch. He was the organizer, running youth tournaments while other kids just chased the ball. Decades later, that same instinct would reshape the entire business of the sport. He knew soccer isn't for him. So, he created a master plan. Here is the twist. Firstly, Infantino decided to study law. He studied law at the University of Fribourg and, by his 30s, spoke 7 languages. Not for growing natural talent, for colleagues say, it's a strategy. In a world run by international bureaucracy, the person who can read every contract in every language ends up holding the pen. His first job in sports administration was small and unglamorous: Secretary General of an academic sports institute in Neuchâtel. Unpaid attention, unpaid ambition, the kind of job you take while building towards something bigger. This is the moment his worldview was forged. Paperwork and alliances beat raw talent. He was about to get his hands on a much bigger weapon than a research grant. In August 2000, Infantino joined UEFA as a legal advisor. On paper, a technical role: contracts, licensing, regulation. In reality, a backstage pass to where the money moved. Within 4 years, he ran UEFA's legal and licensing division. By 2009, he was General Secretary, effectively the CEO of European football, at 39. Behind the camera-friendly persona, colleagues describe him quietly re-engineering how European football made money: expanded competitions, centralized broadcast deals, sponsorship packages turning regulation into revenue. It wasn't all clean. In 2016, the Panama Papers surfaced a UEFA broadcast contract Infantino had personally co-signed years earlier, tied to a company later linked to defendants in the US FIFA corruption case, a link UEFA had previously denied existed. Infantino said he was dismayed. No charges followed. FIFA's own ethics chamber cleared him. Coincidence, or an early comfort with grey areas? Reasonable observers land on different answers. By 2015, he'd secured a seat on FIFA's own reform committee, set up after the organization's biggest corruption scandal in history. He wasn't just watching the crisis, he had a front row seat and credibility his rivals no longer had. He was one vacancy away from the most powerful job in world sport. He was about to get one. May 2015, Zurich. FBI agents arrest senior FIFA officials on corruption charges, live on international television. Within weeks, Sepp Blatter announces his resignation. His natural successor, Michel Platini, gets suspended over suspicious payments before he can even run. For the first time in decades, football's top office was wide open, and the man everyone assumed would inherit it had just been knocked out. Infantino saw the gap first. UEFA backed his candidacy in late October 2015. Within weeks, he was crossing continents: West Africa, the Gulf, Central America, private hotel meetings, not public rallies. The pitch, expand the World Cup, expand payouts to smaller federations, reform FIFA's image. He wasn't the frontrunner. Bahrain's Sheikh Salman was, but Infantino spent months quietly consolidating exactly the votes Salman assumed were his. On February 26, 2016, in Zurich, first round Infantino trails, second round 115 votes to 88. The kiosk owner's son was now the most powerful man in world football, the first Italian to hold the post. From that day forward, nothing about how football's money and power moved would work the same way again. Publicly, the pitch never changed. Reform, transparency, inclusion. Privately, a machine was being built that concentrated more power in one office than FIFA had ever seen. The numbers, roughly $3.6 million in compensation in 2022, the Qatar World Cup year, $4.67 million in 2023, up 33%. By 2025, following the Saudi-funded Club World Cup launch, his total package hit $6 million, a $3.3 million base, plus a $2.78 million bonus, itself up another 33%. For comparison, UEFA's president earned $3.26 million that year, the Premier League's CEO, $2.3 million. Infantino was, by a clear margin, the best paid administrator in world football. But the question is, who approves that pay? FIFA's own compensation committee, appointed through structures Infantino himself significantly influences. On paper, independent. In practice, close to setting your own salary. Then what doesn't show up on the disclosure sheet? Free luxury housing, first near Zurich, later a villa in Doha, near constant private jet travel. One investigative outlet estimated 600,000 kilometers, logged over 3 years. Around 2021, his family relocates to Doha. His Swiss residency shifts to Zug, one of the country's lowest tax cantons. His daughters enroll in Doha's elite international schools. On paper, standard executive relocation. In reality, it plants him permanently inside the orbit of the Gulf monarchy, hosting the very tournament his organization oversees. Net worth estimates swing wildly online, anywhere from under $2 million to $20 million, because none are tied to any disclosed audited asset register. Treat any single number as a guess dressed up as fact. What's not in dispute? The machine itself. Expanded tournaments, boosted by the new Club World Cup and a 104-match 2026 World Cup, now push total revenue projections to somewhere between $13 and $15 billion. The man from the kiosk wasn't just running football anymore, he was running an economy the size of a small nation. Here's where ambition starts costing something. The secret meetings. Between 2016 and 2017, Infantino held at least 3 undisclosed meetings with Michael Lauber, Switzerland's Attorney General. While Lauber's office was investigating FIFA cases, FIFA itself was party to. No minutes, no records. A Swiss federal court later called their shared claim of forgetting the details implausible. Lauber was forced to resign. A special prosecutor opened a criminal case against Lauber, Infantino, and a state prosecutor. Then, in 2021, that prosecutor was removed after Infantino complained about bias. Critics saw a FIFA president sidelining his own investigator. Supporters called it routine. The case's final legal resolution still isn't clearly confirmed in the public record. In 2018, Russia hosted under Vladimir Putin. Infantino called it the best World Cup ever and accepted Russia's Order of Friendship medal the following year. Qatar and the workers who built it. In 2022, overseeing the Qatar World Cup, Infantino downplayed criticism of migrant labor conditions, as rights groups documented forced labor practices tied to tournament construction. The stadiums got built anyway, the 2034 fast track. In late 2024, FIFA compressed the 2034 bidding window to roughly 25 days after restricting hosts to Asia and Oceania. Saudi Arabia was the only bidder. Reporting suggested Infantino's private diplomacy helped smooth that path before it was ever formalized. FIFA confirmed the decision in December. One bidder, one outcome, minimal scrutiny. In November 2025, Infantino launched FIFA's first Peace Prize, and a month later awarded it to Donald Trump, timed awkwardly around Trump's own frustration at missing that year's Nobel. Months earlier, delegates reportedly walked out of a FIFA Congress after Infantino arrived late, having just accompanied Trump on a Middle East tour. Then in July 2026, mid-tournament, Trump personally calls Infantino to request a review of a red card issued to an American player. FIFA suspends the automatic ban, and the player returns for the round of 16. Multiple federations publicly criticize the decision as a hit to competitive integrity. None of this proves criminal wrongdoing on its own. That's what makes the pattern uncomfortable, individually deniable, collectively describing a man who's learned again and again that rules bend around him and rarely break him. Strip away the jets and the peace prizes, and here's what's left. One man at the center of a $15 billion economy, answering to an oversight structure. He has enormous influence in shaping himself. That's not really a story about Gianni Infantino. It's a story about how modern institutions, sports, and plenty of others quietly concentrate power in people who are extremely good at making bureaucracy work for them instead of against them. The ones who actually pay for it rarely get airtime. Migrant workers on stadium construction sites, smaller federations whose loyalty was bought with development funds, fans watching a bloated tournament built to maximize broadcast revenue, players whose red cards can apparently be reconsidered with the right phone call. If nothing changes, the trajectory is obvious. Bigger tournaments, more power in fewer hands, more heads of state treating a sports executive as a genuine geopolitical player because functionally he already is one. Picture the boy in Brig, more interested in organizing the games than playing them. He won. He built an empire on exactly that instinct. The only real question left is whether the rest of us are comfortable with what that kind of winning costs. Is this the version of power we're willing to accept, as long as the tournament is good enough to watch? If you want more investigations like this, you know what to do.